Levine, programmer of the Intellivision games, Microsurgeon, PBA Bowling, and Trucking. And you're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
And here we are. Thank you so much. I'm hearing some echo somewhere again here. Yeah, right on.
Me.
We lost Jeff somewhere the last couple minutes there. Something happened. He had to step away, but that's all right. Hopefully all you guys got an opportunity to watch the premiere, all the news on the INTY Homebrew scene, and of course the spotlight on the new game released by Intellivision Revolution, A Better Mousetrap. And I'm really happy to have with me today Michael Hayes, programmer of not only that game, that's your most recent game, but of so many other. I'm going to try to move you down here so you don't have that logo over top you, Mike. There, we'll put it like that.
No problem.
That's a lot better. All right, so listen, I'm sort of waiting for Jeff to pop back, but he'll get back if he can in a few minutes. Let's take a look in the chat, see who is here right now. We got all kinds of people in here. We got how many we got here? I think I see about 15 in here. Let's see. Hey, going back at Casey Nidall's here, Salvatore. Of course, there's Michael in the chat, of course. And Junebug, how you doing, Junebug? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. And Rab, PJ made it over. Kurt Bradshaw. Oh, Jeff is restarting, so he's right there. So you got a couple minutes, Jeff. Don't rush. And Roger Matthews is in. I think last time I used that transition thing from the premiere right into the live stream. I think it worked pretty well. So you guys can sort of let me know. I've never done it. I've never done it as a viewer. Rolled into one. So if it works, man, beautiful. But I see everybody's sort of starting to roll in now. So once again, Mike, thank you so much for coming on here tonight.
Absolutely.
About your history in Intellivision and how you came to become a programmer like that. Hey, there's C-Marts in the house. Right on. So you're busy, having a busy night tonight, right? Mike?
Oh.
You're having a pretty busy night tonight.
Yeah, I'm always busy these days, but again, one thing you may or may not know.
Yeah.
The reason why I built the portable development and television environment in the first place was for this reason, because necessity is the mother of invention.
Right.
So being so busy, it's just like, you know what? I always had a burning desire to make Intellivision games. I didn't want time to be an issue anymore. So I found, innovated a way around it. So I could just say, write a few lines of code, and that's how I got Fubar done finally.
Oh, okay. Which was not your first game. We talked about that the other night, but it was the first major release that you had.
Yeah, my first game, of course, was Same Game and Robots.
Okay, yeah.
And then, I wrote Blix and Chocolate Mine.
Yeah.
And then, hold on, it fell here.
There he is.
Then Fubar was released about the same time as Blix and Chocolate Mine.
Gotcha. Jeff made it.
Then X-Ray and Dilligas. Then there was Little Man Computer, which I didn't publish. I just put it there for free. Anybody take it. Then, of course, finally, A Better Mousetrap.
Right on. So you got quite a little a portfolio there so far. That's amazing. That's fantastic. So absolutely. I got to ask you to start out. Of course, guys in the chat, Jeff is going to watch the chat for us. Make sure any questions that come up you have for Mike, he's going to be watching for them. And if we don't get to them, don't forget. Ask them again in a little while. But Jeff will sort of keep track. We'll both keep track. Mike, you can watch it too in case you see anything there you want to address right off the get-go. But let's just start off. How did you get into Intellivision? Is this something that you've loved since you were knee high to a teacup? Or
yes, Yeah, my story. And Rev had interviewed me at one point, and I told my story again. I told it originally on my old Intellivision library website that
Right.
we got started on Intellivision in 1981.
Okay.
And at that time, like right away, I was enthralled because one, Intellivision now suddenly interactive. Before, you just sat there and watched it interact. So being able to interact, it was a whole new dimension to TV. And then second of all, the Intellivision itself, it was low resolution even at the time, and it had that bright color palette. So it led to it led to a certain charm.
Sure.
So when my parents bought the Intellivision, it originally came with Astro Smash and Space Battle, and of course, Las Vegas
Poker
and Blackjack. Then my uncle was a strip, so he came over and he was at Astro Smash. They were playing that first. So we were taking turns because that was a single player game, but I was just happy to study the box when it wasn't my turn to play.
Yeah.
And the back box had, of course, this time about 3 dozen games, screenshots on there. And each screenshot, see, at the tender age, I couldn't articulate it all these years, but see, each screenshot was like a portal, like an entryway into a universe that somebody had created.
Yep.
So, it was creation, and what really intrigued me was the diversity of all these different universes. You could be in any universe you wanted at any point in time. You could just come and go at your leisure. And I knew that somebody in a cubicle somewhere had to have created these. So I just said, when I grow up, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make Intellivision universes just like this.
Oh, wow.
So at such a young age, I planted my flag. So that was it. Once you plant your flag, that's it. You can't take it back.
That's pretty cool.
So I just held on to that all these years, and it didn't matter the crash happened. It didn't matter that everybody moved on from Intellivision. It didn't matter that my parents were disillusioned because the component didn't happen.
Right.
I just held on to it.
That's awesome.
So
there's never a period where you weren't following Intellivision.
Oh yeah, no, never. Because even the late '80s came INTV. Yep. We got the INTV catalogs, and then with the demise of INTV, I got into NES, Game Boy, Atari Lynx, SNES, but gradually I lost interest. Yeah. I went back to Intellivision. I just said, what? These old games are so fun. So then in college, of course, I just went full-blown retro.
Yeah.
And just said, what? I don't like the newer games that are coming out because now, you had the 32-bit and just 4. And I said, I don't like these. I just like Intellivision. I want to go back to Intellivision. I want to go back to Atari. I picked up a Vectrex.
Yeah.
And I was just happy with those. So then I go into university. Out comes the, Keith Robinson had his Making It website, and that's where he hosted the original BSR page. And there was all the backstories. So like all the different games, all the different hardware. And I just ate it all up. I'm getting online for the first time.
Right.
So
through the 90s, I mean, we take it so for granted nowadays as communication. We take it all for granted. Oh, yeah. But back then it was a lot of effort had to go into keeping those contacts, right?
That's right. So the most significant thing about the old BSR site was the announcement of the Megas 2 board, that breadboard development system. There was a blurb there, and what's funny is I can't find it in the Wayback Machine, but Keith Robinson made mention of how they were going to recognize next generation Blue Sky Rangers.
Right.
And I was like, this is it. This is it. I am going to be a next generation Blue Sky Ranger. So
what year would that have been?
Megas 2 didn't happen.
What year would that have been, roughly? What year would that have been, roughly?
97, 98.
Yeah.
So when Intellivision Productions funded everybody. They also gave all the pre-order people a complimentary copy of Your Friend the Exec.
Okay, yeah.
So I got that, and I read it, and with knowing nothing outside of Your Friend the Exec, I went and wrote Sing in 2001. Then in 2000, I wrote Robots. Then in 2004, I wrote the prototype for Fubar. And in about that same time, I got it while I was writing Fubar, Chris Nyman from Intellivisionaries or Intellivisionaries, whatever it was, he wanted to release Same Game as among the first 4 homes. And I was like, absolutely, this is great. So I told them Robots because nobody knew about Robots. So I added Robots to Same Game, and then it got published as Same Game Robots.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
who published those? Were all published by who again?
Then I got super bit. I'm sorry.
Those were all published by whom again?
Intelligentvision. Because that was like Dave Harley, Chris Nyman.
Yep. Right on. So what was that? The first game that you wrote then was Same Game and Robots. The 2 games, right?
Same. Yep.
So tell us about those a bit more. Like, what kind of game did you start with? What was your first thoughts when you made it a game? Like, were those games also, because you have Midnight Blue, we'll talk about that a little bit, which is a lot of adjustments that you made some of the games, that the original games, just to do improvements, just like a Better Mousetrap, right? What was your plan with the very first game that you programmed? Like, how did you start?
Oh, so you mean Same Game?
Same Game. Okay. So what was it? What did you do? Like, how did you approach that?
Well, why do I bring that up? Same Game, of course, was the first actual talk about. Years and years before that were all those ECS basic games I put out there.
Okay.
But yeah, Same Game. Well, what happened while I was in university, so I had a computer science student account with 5 megabytes of space.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, well, what did I do on my downtime between projects? Well, I downloaded a text adventure interpreter, and I was playing text adventures in college. So, I'm getting into original Zork trilogy,
right,
and things like that. Well, then, as part of like the interactive fiction community, as it's called, there were games written that abused, so to speak, the Z engine, which is how some of the text adventures are developed. So one of them was Same Game. So I was playing Same Game as in a text adventure environment.
Okay.
So that intrigued me. That's what got me into wanting to write Same Game. So that's why I went with Same Game. I thought, well, I can do this for Intellivision, no problem.
So I'm sorry, but I've not seen Same Game. So
you haven't?
Is it a text adventure?
Let me go screen share it then.
Sure.
Hopefully I have it here on my let me see. Here we are. Let's do a full screen.
You just do the share and I'll put it into the stream.
Perfect. System audio. All right.
Yeah, we do need more cats, don't we, Salvador? And the worst part about it is she bugs me to get out, and now she's sitting at my feet and wants back in. There we go. Okay, we'll get that in there. I'll get my cat up here.
Kitty? Yep.
Go get Bongo, Jeff.
Yeah, I should. I'll text my son, see if I can chase him down.
Oh yeah. So anyhow, you're
it's not going in there, or is it there?
Being shared. Anyhow, I'm sharing my screen right now. I don't know if people can see it or not.
Right. There, it's starting to go here now.
There we go. Okay.
I'm going to. There we go. You know,
Okay.
we need more cats, but I'll guarantee that this
I'll
weighs as
fire
much as
this
the rest
up.
of them
So-
all put together. I don't think we're hearing you, Mike.
Go. There. Hello.
Do we? I can't hear you at all now. I heard a little ping there a second ago. The stream needs more audio. Oh, there we go. That we did have this working the other night, guys. We got together on what night was it, Jeff? We got together, the three of us, and everything seemed to work quite well that night.
Yeah, it's going well.
Now you're there's no audio. You're muted. You're muted, the computer. Yep. Okay.
Maybe we have too many cats, Pete.
Maybe we have too many cats. The cats have taken over the stream now.
I put in
But
a
on a
request.
lighter note, I am drinking a dark wheat from Pickaroons tonight. Just enjoying that. Oh, I got to put that in the stream, and then we should hear him again. Right there.
Okay.
There we go.
So I guess
Oh,
I'll
you know what?
say
Your
on,
voice is lined up
trying to
better,
screen
too.
share here. See, the problem is, again, my computer is very old. My phone is more powerful than my PC. So that's what happens. If I start to do anything, my computer chokes up. Well,
that's all
you
right.
remember
We
from
don't
the
need
dry
to do
run
any of
last
that
week
anyway.
that I'm using my camera on my phone and the microphone on my PC.
Ah.
So anyhow,
this sound
so
is okay.
I guess I'll not share anything else. I guess I just can't. Anyhow,
Oh, well, that's all right. That's all right.
yeah.
So I had checked that out. I don't know if I have a comment. I know you were showing us Fubar the other day, and
Yes.
that's the game that got released. But it was when you started in 2004, but it got actually released by.
Yeah, I released it. It was Intellivision Revolution that released it in 2019.
2019, just recently. So
Yes.
that was really interesting because, I mean, Jeff, you and I watched him play that here the other day, and what's the first thing we thought of?
Splatoon.
Yeah.
It's Splatoon from 2004.
Yep. The thing about Fubar was, of course. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah. So what happened was, again, because I'm just as much a game designer as a developer, I wanted to come up with something unique, or mostly unique. So I wanted to do something that was a sort of spiritual successor to Snafu, which is why I went with the name Fubar. And then also because I never knew that one multiplayer game for the Intellivision actually existed. I didn't know that World Cup Soccer did actually support 4 players. So I said I wanted a game that's 4-player.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wrote Fubar with the intent of having a 4-player game finally.
But
Then-
how did you come up with the gameplay? Is like
Oh, the gameplay?
yeah.
There was a freeware PC DOS game I played once called Painters, and I think the author was JJ Soft. But anyway, I was intrigued by that, and I just said, I'll take that and I'll do it one better. So that's how Fubar came to be.
With various there's different ways to play too, variations of the game.
Yes. And again, sorry I can't screen share here, but yeah, there's the thing about Fubar is it's got a ton of customization. So there's a ton of replay value. I know the menu system is intimidating at first, but you just go through it. There's like a default setting, so you can just kind of play. at first. You can start playing it up, and even once you really get to know it, I even have it where you can take the 8 AI personas and you can tweak any or all of them, and it all saves to Flash, so you can build like the strongest AI. So again, there's like a lot of long-term value. And the other thing about Fubar is, see, I had like a lot of timed releases. I wanted to stretch this out because Fubar wasn't just like a game I just put out there and then it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to move on to the next game and keep going. Like, obviously, I'm going to keep writing more games, but Fubar is one I'm going to continue to sort of market over the years. I've got a lot of announcements I haven't dropped yet.
That leads right into the next question that Roger had. You can see it on the screen there now.
Let me have a look. Okay, I'm looking because I have another device here. I'm watching the chat. Is there a game you're currently thinking about programming for future release? Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a lot of game design ideas like waiting in the wings. One thing I want to focus on right now is I want more multiplayer party games joining Fubar. So I've got a few more multiplayer ideas. Let's see. One I was thinking about like one game idea I'll drop right here is one that's kind of like the original Space Zap, but with 4 players.
Oh, wow.
So you'll be firing at targets, and you can either play, I think it'll be mostly competitive gameplay, that one. I don't think there'll be any cooperative. But that one, I'm really focused on. I want to build like a really beefy soundtrack for it. Because again, I also classically trained, I play piano, sing tenor 1, so I write my own music for my games on top of everything else.
Well, let me ask you about that. You say you write your own music, and that just sort of, I just did a pickup video where I did Melody Blaster, right? And I used your music clip because it was your hack of Melody Blaster that I used, which incorporated different music into it, different songs. That was amazing to listen to that whole thing. If anybody hasn't listened to that, if you search for Melody Blaster, it's not Mike's video, but it's using your hacked version of the game. And what were you telling me afterwards? We talked about that a little bit. You said, what was your favorite music that you used in that?
Oh, yeah. I put a few Christmas songs in there originally, and my favorite Christmas song ever is and always has been Carol of the Bells. Okay, so I have the full 4-part choral harmony of Carol of the Bells in there. And that's cool. Tune number 6.
And what are the other ones in there? I mean, you can name them. I can't name them off top, but it's I recognize them all. The default tune was
the first 8 measures of the Hallelujah chorus, from Handel's Messiah.
Yeah.
Tune number 4 was from the original Charlie Brown Christmas special, Linus and Lucy. Yeah. Number 5 was I Wonder As I Wander, which is traditionally sung at Christmas time. Tune number 3 is Game Boy Tetris Tune A. Tune 2 was like the first 3, the opening measures of O Fortuna. Then we get into actual video game tunes. So like tune number 7 is the Pac-Man Intermission. Tune 8 is the title screen from Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man.
Right.
Tune 9 is Bomb Squad. Tune 10 is Thin Ice. And then finally, Tune 11, I used all the extra ROM space I had, and I did the title screen from NES RC Pro-Am.
Okay, yeah. Wow. Is that all in the video that's on there?
Yours, I think you only had like the original default.
Mine's just a little tiny clip, but that whole video is on there to listen to.
It is. If you go to Gurnow's YouTube page, you'll see it.
Okay. Yeah, right. Whose YouTube page?
I'm sorry?
Whose YouTube page to see it?
I think it's called Gurnow, Gernot.
That's right. So you say that, yes. But you do a search for Melody Blaster and look, and you'll find this video, and it's really worth listening to. It's amazing. And I am completely and utterly non-musically inclined. I could never create like that because, like I say, if you don't have the gift, you just can't make the music. And it's absolutely amazing to hear, even programmed you have to have a gift to program and make music sound like that, in my mind. And you did an amazing job with it. Let's talk a little bit more about the hacks that you did then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because we talked about some of the original games that you made, but let's talk about Midnight Blue International.
Mhm.
Because
drop
you
the,
obviously have a passion for taking these games and just making your own personalized tweets. For those who don't know, way back when I did the Vectron game, we were playing Vectron in something, and I made it to level 5 one time. I think I streamed it and just played it. I made it to like level 5. It was amazing. How did I get that far? And Michael let me know, hey, I've got a version. If you want to see the rest of it, where you don't take damage, you play through it. So that was so cool to see the end of that game that I did a video on that. It's way back when, and that's one of Michael's hacks. So tell us about Midnight Blue International. How long have you been working on that? Some of your favorite hacks from that, and such, Mike.
Well, yeah. So I put the website out there a long time ago, but then in 2018, 2019, I finally beefed it up and started putting all my games out there, like the ones I made, like a couple of board games I made with my 3D printer right back here, so on and so forth. Oh, yeah, it's buried, but I have a finished product I could have showed off. Hello, Sima Druga.
Carlos.
Anyhow, yeah, good to talk to you tonight. Let's see. So, yeah, one thing is I remember Joe Beachiak originally reverse engineered Vectron back in 2001 because he wanted to find the Easter egg that was talked about in the old BSR page. When he found it, then he sent to me an email and said, hey, I know you're good at Vectron. Can you confirm this is how you do it? And the only reason he thought it was good at Vectron was because back in the old Intellivision library days, of course, I used Carl Mueller Jr.'s original emulator that was on Intellivision Lives, which had a save scum feature, and I just save scum my way through all 99 levels.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And it was at that point that I realized that when you get to the Prism levels at level 16, the game is literally impossible. So there's no point trying to go any further.
That's not the third, fourth, or fifth time through. That's the first time at level with the Prism. I swear it's not beatable.
That's right. That's because it's impossible. You cannot beat the Prism levels without some kind of a hack.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So, 99 levels, don't worry about it. If you can get to 16, that's as far as you can go.
Gee. And so I spent an hour playing it. And I think the stream isn't that long because after I got so far, I kicked it into fast forward and buzzed through. Just so we could see the endings and all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
But that was
special
great.
Little visual treat.
So what else? Yeah, as wonder is it. So let's talk about some of the other stuff on Midnight Blue. What's some of your favorite things on there? Because that's interesting as blazes, the Vectron thing. Obviously, I mean, we're here because of a Better Mousetrap tonight, which ultimately is you taking a game and going, this is what's wrong with it. Let's make it better.
Exactly.
Right.
First thing I'll mention is you might have seen I did put the link to my website in the chat.
Good. Yeah.
I got links to a couple other things too, like my Twitch channel, my Discord server. Anyhow, but yeah.
Did it work when you type it in? Sometimes it doesn't always work when you type those links in.
Okay, I'll try putting it as not a link.
Well, I could get the links in. I'll tell you what, I should be able to go and find the link. You just message me in Messenger and I'll pull it up. And when I put it in the chat, it will definitely work.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, no problem. So back to the website.
Yeah.
You have, like when you first go to the website, you'll have a list of all my released Intellivision games. You have a list of all my released board games. And then finally, you get to other. And other is the most interesting thing you'll find there because I do have a link to my ROM hacks. Oops, what do we got here? Oh, Swords and Serpents. No, I haven't touched that. Sorry.
I've got all kinds of things. We're starting a list of things for you to work on.
Oh, I know. Yeah. We got a nice little wish list. Hey, I'll take requests. Doesn't mean I'll get to them. I know Carnival's another one I'd like to work on.
Oh no! Don't touch Carnival. Carnival is a gem, just as it
It's
is.
a masterpiece.
Perfect the way it is. Anyway, let's see. So
I don't know if that went in or not, but I'm going to try it again.
yeah, within other, I've got my page because, see, as I built my portable intelligent development environment that I talked about, I documented it every step of the way. So I leave instructions if anybody else wants a PIDE on their Android device.
Something happened to our stream, I think, or did it? No, it
Wait,
did
what?
not. Okay. Nope. You're good. Sorry. My mistake.
Okay. Anyway, I also have within other, of course, I got a link to all my ROM hacks, but another thing that's very interesting is when I was in high school, see, again, I went mainstream for a while with 8-bit, 16-bit. So I told you I had NES, Game Boy, Atari Lynx, and SNES. Yep. Well, I was so good at games back then that I usually like beat them all within 24 hours. So when I needed a new challenge, because of course, console games, at $50, $60 a shot, I can't just, it's not like computer game where you can just like pirate all your games or share them on a BBS. So one thing I did to kind of like give myself something else to do, I started reverse engineering the password schemes for a lot of these games. So like, because I remember I was reading Nintendo Power Magazine, and first it was that password crack for NES 1943, then Mega Man 2. And I said, you know what? I could probably do that. So I did. Cracked. But yeah, I have links, which I posted them up on Game Facts, but I have links there. You can see my notes. And I know a couple of times I started to live stream. Like I actually cracked NES Strider and Atari Lynx Super Squeak both on a live stream. But anyway, that's another thing I'm very proud of. Plus, then I have like I think Little Man Computer. I have the link to that. Oh,
here I'm gonna actually
put Bump and Jump level editor is also out there. There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
There's the
my list of hacks.
So we'll scroll down through, and can you see what I got? So we'll start with the Ladybug. So tell us about Treasures of Tarman.
Oh yeah. First of all, if you want to make that bigger, try pressing Control equals.
All right.
There you go.
We go.
If you want to revert to normal, it's Control 0. All right. So yeah.
Perfect. So there we go.
Okay. So Ladybug. There's a good one.
Yes.
So
love that game. Happened was, plays so smooth now on the Intellivision. It really plays quite well.
Yeah, and you'll see I have them listed not alphabetically, but in the order of like either last update or posting.
Okay.
So the thing about Ladybug was one time I decided to see what level 99 was like. So I changed the number of the number of the level you're on to 99, and that's when all of a sudden what happened was, first of all, about a little under 50% of the maze is just peppered with pesticides.
Oh yeah.
And then the timer, which spawns enemies out of the starting gate, runs insanely fast, but the enemies are extremely slow. So right away it spawns all 4 enemies, so you get the vegetable right away.
Okay, yeah.
But they're real easy to avoid. But the biggest problem is you have to wait until they collide with the pesticides to kind of clear a path for you. But I decided, that would be good as like a trainer level. So I made that level 1. Okay. Then I took the highest level and made that level 4, because that's really, challenging. The enemies are very aggressive and very fast. You have to make expert use of the turnstiles to avoid getting caught by them.
Gotcha.
So I made that level, and then I took the original level 1, level 4, and made those level 2, level 3. Yep.
All right. So you got a lot of stuff here.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You want to know about Treasure Tarman?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot there. Now, let's see. Where do I begin?
Well, just give us just a summary. Like, what are the type of things you looked at? Like, it's not so much specifics, but what did you look at improving? Just I see increased hit points, just letting you play with more arrows and food, so you could maybe experience more of the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the big thing about Treasure Retirement was obviously it was more of an RPG, so I knew it was going to take like all the available intelligent system RAM, put it to full use. Well, it does.
Right.
So I went through and like in my notes, I had comments for like what every single RAM address is for, all of them.
Yeah.
So I had it all mapped out. What does what?
Right.
Somebody else had looked into like the dungeon generation, so I went and deciphered, where the dungeon generation is in the RAM. But yeah, such things as like, how is your inventory encoded in the RAM, all your stats, where are the monsters, what are the monsters. But wow. I deciphered all that.
That's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah. Plus, another thing too is like, I was so sick of, you would give yourself like the best war weapon, which is a platinum crossbow, or the best spiritual weapon, which is a purple book, and usually it would disintegrate after 1 or 2 uses.
Oh, okay.
So the one thing I did was I put in a ROM hack to get rid of breakage, and then that's when I found out that like all of the single-use weapons are basically just reusable weapons with 100% quote breakable, like breakage probability.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
that was nothing more. I remember haven't played it much, but I played it back in the day somewhat, and it was very frustrating because you finally get something, and then it would break.
Yep.
And it's like it almost took the fun out of it. Sometimes you just want to go through there and kick ass, right?
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, okay, I worked all this time, I got this great weapon, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
And it's like, I think I quit. It's like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's more challenging, but still.
Yeah. Or like the whole game, all the enemy fights would be easy, and then you get to the stupid Minotaur and you get your butt kicked.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's one. I know Mark Kennedy sent me he sent me an audio clip. Programmer Mark Kennedy from Dig Dug is such. I used it a couple weeks ago on something. I can't remember what I used it on now. And that he sent me an email, and he says, I decided to add that in right at the very end. And what he did is that programmer of Dig Dug and Centipede. Oh, it was a Centipede video. Centipede and Dig Dug and the award-winning Kool-Aid Man, because he wanted to put that in there because he said Kool-Aid Man was such a terrible game.
Yeah, that was Mark Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he also did Scooby-Doo's Maze Chase.
Oh, yes, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know, because I was actually talking directly to Mark Kennedy on Atari Age the other day because we were talking about hacking Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because Mark Kennedy himself said, well, I remember my favorite comment. He said, hey, if you're doing all this through disassembly, quote, I don't envy you. Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
Okay, on a little side note, all of your programming is in assembly, correct?
Well, Same Game and Robots was all assembly. The FUBAR prototype was assembly. But then, obviously, when INTY Basic came onto the scene, I just went ahead and utilized that just because I could.
And just night and day, correct?
Oh, yeah. I was very impressed with like how easy INTY Basic was to work with. But yeah, one thing I did like with FUBAR was I imported chunks of my assembly code, because the thing about FUBAR is the AI core is very CPU intensive. There's a lot of number crunching going on, and I had to get it. See, one of the reasons I didn't release FUBAR after 2004 originally was because there was a slowdown issue. If you had more than one AI, you started getting slowdown. So JLP took some of the weight off.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So between that and again, just my very meticulous, I had all my original assembly code for the time-sensitive parts of the game engine. Plus, I didn't utilize the INTY Basic music tracker. I just utilized my own because I had the CPU cycles like basically accounted for right down to almost the last one. In the worst case scenario that you're just playing with 8 AIs, because every single video frame within that 1/50th or 1/60th of a second, that's all the time you got to move an AI. So I pulled it off, but I even had in Atari Age, I even talked about that, because even when I was checking to see if I overflowed, the overflow check itself caused an overflow.
Oh, okay. You're over my head, I'm afraid.
Sorry, I swore I wouldn't get too technical here, but basically, I wanted to make sure that
guys, there we go.
I got everything done.
Where we're gonna like all of a sudden, I don't understand. You're over my. That's cool.
Right.
I do understand though the thing.
If you know, you know.
Yes. Let's go back and just take a look at some of the things. Like, I noticed some of these things are almost like you made the game so you could just sort of play with it. As opposed to playing it, you're playing with it. Like, for example, but ultimately that's what Vectron is when you do that hack, you're not playing the game anymore. You're basically playing with it to see what you can see if it was beatable. Here's auto racing, crashing disabled. It will let you drive around everywhere, right?
That's why, I don't know if you saw, but then I used that and I posted the full world map on GameFAQs.
I've used that full in my 125 on auto racing. I used your map.
Nice.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about it back at that time, actually, because I think that I found it. I talked to you about it, and you said, because I don't know if it was a video or what about it. It was really neat. I think it was your video, and I talked to you about it at that time, just of the map and how you made it or whatever like that. But so Pac-Man, even how many games haven't you done? What did you do with Shark?
I personally haven't touched Shark yet.
But there it is.
I know Dave Harley did that already.
Shark 2.
Or did I? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's Shark. That's why I'm reading it. Shark right here.
I'm sorry, I forgot I did Shark. Yeah.
You've done so many games you forgot.
Oh yeah. No difficulty increase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a big one, because I went and found where it like looks at how many points you have, and then adjusts the shark difficulty, because at 90,000 you can't get that shark off your tail.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Mind you, I've never gotten to 90,000 to see that, but I have done quite well in that game, and I do enjoy it. And Shark is the game for the Astro Smash Mondays High Score Challenge for this week. So Jeff and I and Chuck will all have a video out on Shark, the regular Shark. Now I throw a Shark 2 in there too, a different video, just because I like it.
I wonder if you want to do high score challenges for some of these hacks.
Oh, well, I'll do a high score challenge for the Vectron hack, that's for sure.
Sure. Another one is, I was going to say, like, when you first were talking about like hacks you can really play with, my favorite one is Whitewater, because
there it is right here. So Beauty and the Beast, Infinite Lies, Blockade Runner, which a game I am grotesquely unfamiliar with, as in I do not believe that I've turned it on in my life. I have it. Obviously, it's on the Ultimate Flashback. I've never played it. Whitewater, I have played that. So go ahead. What is it about Whitewater?
Well, yeah, Blockade Runner 2, like Infinite Missiles helps immensely. But yeah, Whitewater, the thing is, I wanted to see if there was because Whitewater originally has 7 modes of play. Only one of them gives you a score instead of timing you.
Oh.
So I wanted to see if I could somehow generate a game mode where 1, you earned points and weren't timed, and 2, could have the invincibility from the 2 practice modes, and so on. So I deciphered that. Not only that, but then I found out you could actually have 10 game modes, not just 7. There's just like space in the ROM where it's just like the other 3 modes of play that could have been are just zeroed out.
Huh.
So I took the original 7 modes of play, added 3 more.
Interesting. There's a fantastic game that we found we really liked.
Oh, that's a great game.
Beam
Rider.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Infinite torpedoes, infinite light ships, lives. Enemy number of enemy saucers set to 20. Start at sector 99. There you go.
Yes.
Because of the nature of the code, you end up remaining on whatever sector you start on with this cheat enabled. So I set the value to take you to the highest sector of the game and keep you there. Spoiler, hover mouse over box to reveal text. What is...
Go ahead.
I don't think I understand that.
Oh, just, yeah, there you go.
No. Right on. That's cool. You see that nothing happens when you clear sector 99. You just stay there. That's the end of the game then, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no end game. No kill screen.
Just, at least that's still better than Swords and Serpents.
Oh, yeah,
so I don't
exactly.
know. Everybody in the chat, raise your hand if you think that Mike should do a hack so you can finish Swords and Serpents.
Swords and Serpents, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the first, you know what just came to mind just now? See, in the Atari Lynx, the game Electrocop, one of the things you do in Electrocop is you have to crack the pins to unlock the doors. And while you're performing like dictionary hacks, you can play like mini games to kill time. And if you win at any of the mini games, it just flashes a message, you win, big deal. And in fact, if you finish Atari Lynx port of Clax, if you hold the option 1 and option 2 keys, you'll also see that message, you win, big deal, as an Easter egg. So I just thought of that, touch the dragon, and all of a sudden it just, you get a kill screen, you win, big deal.
I just noticed this because I'm not looking at the other screen, just on here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Casey Nightall. Thank you. As always, holy cow. What a great supporter right there.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Dig Dug, just a few little things for Dig Dug.
Yeah.
There's your Vectron. That's your major hack for Vectron.
Dig Dug was fun.
Was it? Well, that's going to be the next game in the 125 in case I've been talking about it for 9 months now. Which
a couple things I did with Dig Dug. I wanted to see all the different vegetable prizes.
Okay.
So I found out that there are only 18 unique levels, and then it just loops back to 1, but it's harder.
Okay.
Just kind of like the same as Vectron. So at level 17, 18 is when you get the highest point prize. It looks like an ear of corn for 8,000, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. Ears of corn for 8,000, Alex. There's your Vectron. AD&D, infinite arrows, infinite lives, invincibility. Yeah. Again, to let you play with it and just have fun.
And that one too, yeah, because I basically put in the ability to have like a trainer difficulty level where the monsters don't move at all. And I think you get 13 arrows in a quiver.
Okay, yeah. I slowed down and come back a little bit because I wanted Jeff to see this. You ready, Jeff? Defender.
Yeah, I saw that coming up.
Infinite smart bombs. Oh, there's actually a cheat code.
Hey, that reminds me too. I was going to comment on a YouTube page yesterday. So you were playing Defender.
Yeah.
There's a cheat code in original Defender, which gives you like a garbled title screen, but then you have infinite ships and infinite smart bombs.
Oh, too cool. What is the cheat? Do you know what the cheat code is, or how do you?
I don't remember, but I posted it on GameFAQs also because I found that when I was
that is so cool, man.
I think my cheat just enables it by default.
Gotcha. There's actually, it says right here, there's actually a cheat code to enable unlimited ships and smart bombs. This hack just enables it by default.
3 days too late for us, Pete.
I just had company come in and wave. It's like, hey, how you doing?
I see somebody in the chat was asking about
enable Easter egg. All players start with lots of money. That would have been good for back when, if we ever do a horse racing show again on, which I have a feeling we will sometime, Jeff.
Yeah, horse racing and also Utopia.
Oh yeah.
And then also a buttload of energy for Fathom.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Because I remember that I had to teach how to play Fathom in the chat the one time.
Oh yes, you did. I still haven't really taken the time to sit down and learn it, mind you, which I really have to do.
It's a beautiful game.
It is. It looks really good, but
yeah,
I've never.
Kind of a
I
real
have a
fan
hard
of all
time
that, like,
picking up the games that I never played as a kid, and like Mazatron is probably I'd rather learn how to play Mazatron than any other game in the system because we never had Mazatron when I was a kid. I've listened to the Intellivisionaries podcast about it several times. Like, okay, I think I know how to play that game, and I haven't got a freaking clue. I pick it up and it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I was really fascinated by Mazatron because I got it for my 7th birthday.
Yeah.
And I spent months reading the manual cover to cover over and over, like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah. And?
Yeah, so anyway, all I knew was, like, find the RAM chips and turn all the bits black.
Okay, yeah.
But first, I got to get to the RAM chips. Yeah, but see, to this day, I tell people that was my first, like, open world game experience because, like, not dying, there was no challenger. Okay, every time a recognizer shows up, put your shield up and it turns blue. And stay away from the zaps so you don't lose your shield. You know, beyond that, there's really no threat of death. Don't go off the screen or you go back to start.
Yeah. Yeah. I will figure it out. I love this hack of Tron Deadly Disc because the color fix. You turn Tron blue, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Because Tron's supposed to be blue and the bad guys are supposed to be red.
Right. I like the D-Res part. I might get that. A few of these I got to get down on the Flashback and stream some of your versions of the games again like I have before.
Totally. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to do that with Turbo. I had a hard time figuring out the one time I streamed it as well. Somebody else told me, I think it might have been Roger telling me, rotate the disc to steer because I was hitting back and forth, right? And finally I got it just in time. Like,
and of course, you have to use the right controller to play.
Oh, okay. For Turbo.
Same with like World Championship Baseball. You have to use the right controller to start the game.
Which is actually not the one I usually plug in, to tell you the truth. Oh, I'm going to keep. Oh, there's your list. So Masters of the Universe. A fun game. Love the game.
Yep.
Melody Blaster. There it is. There's all your songs.
Yeah. All the music.
In the hat. That's awesome. Pinball. Buzz Bombers. I'm just going to skip through real quick now. We've been on this Bump and Jump. If there's something, I know Bump and Jump you talked about, you have developed. Oh, no, we won't forget the online idea. Bump and Jump. No, you talk Bump and Jump. You have a level designer for that. You showed us that the other day. That's really neat. If somebody's so inclined, loves Bump and Jump, get that. Make their own levels. Armor Battle. I love this idea of starting only with 5 tanks because, you know, it's a game that I just thought was too long.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is, even obviously everybody talks about, well, you know, kids got really short attention spans these days. See, even back in 1982, because I think we got Armor Battle for my father's birthday in 1982. And even then, nobody could sit through a 50 tank battle.
Nope.
Nobody.
What the blazes did I do? I've done Armor Battle on the 125, right? And MJ, God love her, come in and she streamed with me one night, the 2-player games as well, when they were here, right? And when I was doing that, I said, just play this game with me. I'm going to record the game so I can use the footage and stuff for it. We sat there and played a 50 tank game. And I said, because there was one of the first 3 Intellivision games that we had in 1980 or 81, whichever it was. My brother-in-law went and bought Space Battle Baseball and Armor Battle. And come home and was waiting on the Intellivision for 2 weeks after we had the freaking game staring at him. I read the manuals like 10 times each. And I still, to this day, I think when MJ and I sat here and played Armor Battle for 50 tanks was the only time in my life I've ever done that. It was just a big video, right?
Yeah.
So. All right. Burger Time, Diners. Just, again, things to let you play longer. Easter egg for roulette. Invincible and Locket Chase. Well, that would let you get through.
Oh, yes.
And you have both the original and the 8K version with the hack. That's cool.
Yeah, because they're different.
Yeah.
Plus, the thing, too, about Lock and Chase, my sister could make it all the way to level 10 back in the day.
Yeah.
Me? No. She had a pattern where she was very good about locking the doors and getting the cops trapped.
Oh yeah. I never get a knack for that. I just try to avoid them. I never could trap them.
Yeah.
And shout out Big Doomer, of course, world record holder in Locket Chase, and I'd say he defended his world record because they had a contest on Intellivision Invasion. I think it's Kevin Schultz, I think is the guy's name who runs that every week. And Doomer signed up, played Locket Chase, and blew everybody away, which was right on. I thought that was funny. Hopefully, maybe Doomer's still here. I'm not sure. Night Stalker. I'm reading Night Stalker now. You will not hear the heartbeat sound for the first 12 and a half seconds of the game.
Yeah, that's kind of a side effect because how I disabled the robot fire.
Yeah.
Involved. Anyway, again, I won't get technical here, but what happened?
The method that you used to do it, that was something that also happened at the same time.
Right. Because again, sometimes you'll have like a side effect. If you change one thing and it inadvertently changes another, just like what I did with pinball. But you'll see that.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually slow down much on pinball because I was skimming through so many other ones. Here's Doomer. Right on. Thanks, Jeff, for catching that.
Yeah.
Was close. I thought I saw it. You had like 300,000 or 400,000, something crazy. Yeah, locking the doors. Oh. I try to do. I call when I played the game. We played it in Astro Smash Challenge. There, I tried. What did I call it? I got to play it. Pull the Doomer. You go up and make those same doors every time, so you block off half the enemies, then you can clear off the rest of the screen. He does it every time. You watch his video. Now my score of the Buzz Bombers contest, that wasn't particularly close. Oh, okay, right on. Buzz Bombers, man, another game I'm not real familiar with, but I almost credit that style of gameplay, like just like in chess, certain moves are credited to certain players. Well, Doomer has the opening move in Locket Chases named after him now. Pretty impressive.
That reminds me.
Check that video, guys. If you guys have not watched the video, check the Big Doomer on. It's not like a super long video. It's about 20 minutes. It's the world record in Intellivision Locket Chase, and it's really worth watching. It's really fun to watch.
We were talking about Astro Smash.
Yeah.
Did you see the recent video? Somebody built an AI to play Astro Smash until you max out the score, and it wraps around.
I did. That was pretty impressive too. It was wow. I mean, you couldn't. It's inhuman because it is. It's AI doing it, right?
It is.
But I had to skip through. It's a long video, pretty long video, right? Yeah, I think I skipped through some of it, but it was
like 6 hours.
Oh, there's C-Mart's been using the same strategy, but with not as much success as Doomer. Listen, what was I saying the other day talking about some sort of comment on the Defender video? I think PJ made a comment, and I replied back to him, and I said, Defender was a weird game because it's extremely hard on the Intellivision I found, but I could tell right now that it's the type of game that 14-year-old me would have spent umpteen hours on and tried to master it because I would have. It ain't gonna happen this day and age. Man, we're all older now.
Oh yeah.
We're all older, it's just not the same.
But Defender on Intellivision was decent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Graphically, it's good. Control-wise, it's not bad. Everything about it I like, except for the sort of the slide when you go to try to turn. And you end up sliding into things as opposed to away from things. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But I think you could learn that control as well. Anyway, we're off on Defender kick there again.
Oh, yeah.
We got your Defender up top. We're Infinite Lives and Infinite Smart Bombs. I'm going to get that downloaded and play that. What did you do in Space Armada?
Oh, that's a good one. So, first of all, there were 2 Easter eggs in Space Armada that are basically one and the same. It starts off where there's one or two different title screens, like alternate title screens. But then if you enable either of those title screens and you play in practice mode, it puts you on like one of the higher levels where first of all, you get past a certain point where there's no more cloaking, no more invisible aliens, and they're firing every different type of bomb they have at you. And something else happens where at a certain point, the UFOs start to take on a mind of their own, and they don't just fly across the stream. They'll stop and they'll kind of like go all over the place. They'll start coming down. They'll come down to your bunkers and start
sucking the bunker away.
Bunkers.
Yep.
And if you,
I've gotten to that point. Like,
oh, you have. Okay.
When I was a kid, I that was something else. Like, get hot and friggin', I had them coming down at me.
Yeah. So that, but then now the other thing is like, because I set here with the hack the difficulty level of like 200, or I set the level to 252.
Yeah.
And what happens is the invaders move so fast, boom, 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 game over. You don't have time to shoot more than 2 of them, which then begs the question, where does Space Armada become impossible like Vectron does?
Right.
But what I did was I put in a hack so they start slow and stay slow. So
okay, yeah.
You can just pick them all off, and then after you finish one level, because the scoring is multiplied by the number of level on. So after you complete one level, all of a sudden you got like 250,000 points.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's too cool.
We're
almost to the bottom of your list. Sorry, Jeff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wanted to look at Stampede here. What was done here? Infinite Lives.
That's cool too. Sub Hunts. I love Sub Hunt. Instant winner. Easter egg
I
title.
love that tune, Ride of the Valkyries.
Exactly. And bonus points in the chat for whoever could type in which two. No, sorry. Other than Sub Hunt, what other game is it in? And there is a 125.
Well, of course, I can answer that, but
I know you can.
Yep.
Don't
I'll give everybody else a chance.
See if anybody actually knows, types it in.
Here's a hint.
I tell you,
one of them
I tried. I finally
title.
managed to get it in that game too, and I'm not very good at that game, but I managed to get the Ride of the Valkyries in that game, and it's in one of the videos that I did. So, Oh, Mark, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right on. Well, you put that up. There we go, right there. Thank you so much. We're going to get back to that question too. Jeff's got it marked. Jeff saw that star. He starred it, right, Jeff? So we'll go back to it. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see. The Tron Deadly Disc. Yeah, that was neat. I'm going to have a little bit more on that very, 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 very soon, Kurt.
Yes.
The hot dog
Deadly
Easter egg. But, okay, what were... Oh, nobody typed it in, though, what it is. Okay, you're up to you, Mike. We don't have all night to wait. What was Ride of the Valkyries in?
You want me to type it in?
Don't type it in, just say it. Oh, no, Carlos got it.
Ah, good.
Carlos got it right. Oh, right there. It is. It's checkers. If you beat the game in checkers, you get Ride of the Valkyries, same thing. And I never knew that till I did the 125 on it. And I'll have to go back. Jeff, what's the famous quote again?
I can't believe I sat and watched a video of someone playing Intellivision checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't believe it.
There was a guy
a video about Intellivision
Twitch.
checkers for 20 minutes.
There's a fellow on Twitch. His handle is Peace Egg, and he used to play Intellivision every Wednesday night until he played through all the original 125. And near the end, he came back to checkers because he first played it on Triple Challenge and lost. But that night, he played like several times trying to beat the AI. And at one point, he even went onto like some kind of website and had another AI, and he was just copying its moves, trying to beat the Intellivision AI, and the Intellivision AI beat the other AI. So finally, he finally got it though after several attempts. But the checkers AI is tough
for Intellivision.
Yes, yeah, the
Damn
Intellivision
right.
checkers AI is tough. Another thing too, don't forget there are 3 versions of checkers original for Intellivision.
Okay.
And the way you know the 3 versions, the first version had higher pitched sounds, which sounded kind of like Las Vegas Poker and Blackjack. That one got redone because I think there was like a Stack Overflow bug. But again, if you don't know what Stack Overflow is, don't worry about it. It's a bug. So
yeah.
the third version of the game had mixed case text on the title, so it wasn't in all caps. But then the most common one was the second version. So it had the lower pitched sounds and all caps for the text. Yeah, just a little bit of trivia though.
Wow. Yeah. Man, checkers. Oh my God. Checkers. I did a 20-minute episode. We're sat here, we talked for 5 or 10 minutes about checkers, and it's interesting. I don't know. Thank you, Casey, again, and Mark and Casey the first time, and that's crazy. And I want to go back. Jeff popped this up for a second, but I gotta go back and say, I know we had a bet, and I am ultimately going to lose. But you know what? This is where I would put Yes Ayasha on the screen and go, what? I'm going to have 125 out by the end of the year. I guarantee you. Dig Dug will be out. I am guaranteeing, I will say right now, maybe because I've drank 2 beer, that I will leave YouTube if I don't have 125 out by December 31st.
Oof.
Should I have said that, Jeff?
I better write that down.
And it is going to be Dig Dug, and yes, it is coming out. But the Intellivisionaries are going to have another episode out, and I might even be involved in that with a little bit. So we'll see. Breaking news, right? Let's go back to that question, Jeff.
The online?
Yes. So Roger asked, one of the things, I've talked about it so much. This is what I'll say the dirty A word, the Amico. When the Amico first came out or was first announced, that was one of the things I was looking forward to the most, is I really anticipated and wanted to be able to play the original 125 at homebrews or whatever, head-to-head online on the internet. Mike, do you have any insight into the possibility of making something that could allow us to play these games head-to-head over the internet in the modern day? The original game. Not with original hardware. It would have to be emulation, obviously. But do you have any insight as in, is it even feasible?
One thing about playing Intellivision games like online, because I know Joe Beachiak discussed this.
Right.
The biggest problem has to do with like the Intellivision's, I think, random number generator.
Okay.
Because there's got to be some way to synchronize it so you get like the same, it's called a seed, to make sure it produces the same set of random numbers given the same set of circumstances. But that's one of the reasons why playing like multiplayer Intellivision games online is, I don't want to say it's impossible, but I don't see it as being feasible unless you had say what are called, again, I don't want to be technical here, but dumb terminals. So you had this Intellivision that was somewhere on the cloud, and all the players somehow connected to that same Intellivision terminal on the cloud. Then it could be done.
Could you emulate a dumb terminal?
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I do understand, just for work systems and such, remember dumb terminals which I used in the days, which that's all they could function with. But could you even emulate that?
Well, you
within a
probably
window
could.
environment?
Now,
You probably
emulation,
could.
like building an emulator, is not really my
No.
forte. I'll just leave that to the real
understood.
dedicated programmers, like the Joe
And
Beachioks and the
This is where it
Deckles.
gets back to the feasibility, right?
Yeah.
Is it feasible? I don't know. Probably not. I guess for the
Well, yeah,
100
it's certainly feasible. But see, I talked
for
about
the
this before.
5%, for the 500 or 600 of us who will want to do this,
Yeah.
Is the expense going to be done? Maybe not. Maybe not. Just a couple quick things. Casey said, I'm gonna just sorry to interrupt for a sec, Mike, but Casey said,
Yeah.
don't say things like that. Thank you, Casey. Thank you very much. And C-Mart, you're right. There is no upside to that statement. But I'll tell you this right now, like with some of the last ones, some of the best, I do better to put myself in that predicament because I'll get it done that way. If I don't have that situation, I'll procrastinate and do other things and won't get it done. But like in a situation like where Luke and I have done things, episodes for Luke to do things, I'll set a date. Like even tonight, I said to Mike, Mike, how about Tuesday night? And because I've been procrastinating this episode for a while too with a Better Mousetrap. And I said to Mike last week, I'm going to have this episode done and ready to premiere tonight so we can do the stream that we were watching right now. And because I sort of made that statement and that commitment, the episode was done. And I'm going to make that statement by the end of the year. I'm going to get her done. There you go. Get her done. So, Mike, let's go back and talk a little bit more about just the game of the night, a Better Mousetrap, because we've talked about a little bit of everything else, gone through the website, gone through your other releases. Before I do that, if people wanted to look for a Better Mousetrap or any other releases, where can they get your games right now, whether it's ROM, digital, or physical? Where can they get your games right now? Which ones are and are not available?
I think the ROM is available on Intellivision Collector. I'm not certain, but I know Intellivision Revolution sold a physical copy. I've got one here available sitting at my house, which I don't know if I'm going to return it to Rev to sell, or it may wind up at Good Deal Games. Oh, speaking of which, Good Deal Games. I know a lot of people wanted to get a hold of X-Ray and Dilligas, and I wasn't expecting there to be only 70 copies. Good Deal Games has more copies. Hurry and get one if you wanted it.
Above and beyond the 70, or?
Yes, above and beyond the 70.
Oh, good. Yep.
I don't know how many, but those of you who really wanted X-Ray and Dilligas, hurry, you have a chance. I'm just putting it out there right now.
So I think you said Fubar, is that the only one that's available on Intellivision Collector?
Fubar's on Intellivision Collector. I don't know about a Better Mousetrap.
I don't think it is. I'm not sure though. If Luke, I don't think it's still here. But
Fubar is definitely available digitally now on Intellivision Collector.
And any physical copies anywhere else?
I have 2 right now, and I have a third one I never assembled because I misplaced the overlays.
Oh yes,
so,
But
I've got 2 or 3 copies sitting here at my house.
If there is a big demand, but the thing is about the older games, there's probably not going to see an Intellivision Revolution, for example, put out another wave of them. Probably not, correct?
I'm hoping so, because again, I want to continue to market food. Oh, so I told you that I was going to drop like one announcement about Fubar, like, because see, the thing about, like, do you remember with the original Legend of Zelda for NES? It came out in like 1986, and then only like maybe about 3 years later, the first issue of Nintendo Power Magazine drops the big bombshell about a second quest, right? And here, a lot of people have written off the original Zelda as kind of like old hat at this point. Well, one thing I wanted to say about Fubar. Now, every boxed copy comes with 2 different colored overlays. One of the things, like, I had this crazy idea when I was talking to Rev about publishing it, and surprisingly, Rev was on board with the idea and went along with it. There are 8 unique colors of overlays, one for each of the 7 teams, plus white for the griefers. And one thing I wanted to do is find out if anybody had ever gotten all 8 color overlays, because I want to brag about you on my website.
Gotcha.
Now, one thing on my website, I have a registration form. See, in the box is a registration form, which just takes you to like the online, it has a link to the online form on my site with a unique code on it. Now, that's in lieu of like saying, number 101 out of 100, like with Same Game of Robots, or, or personalized like some of the early Vectrex cards. There's no personalization here except for that unique code, which is on a form. That code tells me which 2 color overlays you got. When you register, you have a chance. You can get an additional 2 overlays if you have the ECS and pair of Intellivision 2 controllers, and you only pay $5 to cover the shipping. So with that code, I had a PHP script on my site which would randomly pick 2 more overlays to send you. So you would have 4 unique overlays at that point. Now, one person got 2 physical copies and registered both of them and requested additional overlays. My script sent this fellow 1 duplicate. So there's one person out the starting gate that I know of who has 7 of the 8 unique colors. But yeah.
There you go.
C-Mart says he's got all 8. If you got all 8, send me a pic. I'd love to brag about you on my site.
There you go.
That's one of the things, because I wanted to have take these overlays and make them trade them, collect them. That was just a crazy idea I had.
That's pretty cool. That's right on. So, okay, let's go back and talk about a Better Mousetrap a little bit. I dumped you off by, I knocked you away from that subject when I started talking about where the games are available now. I assume Intellivision Revolution will have a Better Mousetrap back in stock, is my understanding, in the near future, right? Because all the ones from PRGE, they all sold out.
Yeah, and then I only requested for a half a dozen copies to take to Syracuse.
Yes, I saw that. I saw your post on that too. Sold a couple?
I sold 4 out of the 6.
There you go.
And then, Rev said 1 was for myself, so that left me with 1 copy here.
Yeah, right on. Well, I might have to step up and claim the other one. Anyway, so I talked earlier in the video, I talked about how you sent it to me back in June. So this isn't something that you've recently done. When did you actually start Better Mousetrap?
Well, it was just right. It was right after you played it as part of the weekly high score challenge, because I was right here in the chat, and a couple of us were talking about some of the changes I've always wanted to make to it. Well, then on Atari Age, somebody took me up on that and said, "Hey, you really should do it."
There you go.
So, I started with turning the maze green, and then I just went from there.
I got looking because in the video I said, I played this back in June or like that. I took another closer look afterwards. It was late May when we played Mousetrap, Jeff.
It had to have been early May.
Early May?
I started on it in mid-May.
Oh, okay.
And then it was flat out for 2 weeks working on it.
But it was friggin' well done, and I streamed it.
Yeah, on June 9th.
June 8th.
Yeah, June 8th, and then I saw it posted on June 9th.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, wow. It was that quick that you went to do. You could look at that code, you could find those things that you want to change, you can make those changes easily. Did you make the changes? And I don't understand this. Okay, so if this is a stupid question, just tell me. No, it doesn't work that way. But is it something that you could put into INTY Basic and then make the adjustments, or do you have to actually do the coding in assembly?
Probably, maybe I could, but here's what's up.
Okay.
The all of a Better Mousetrap is just nothing but a whole lot of ROM pokes. Thousands and thousands of ROM pokes is how I did it.
Okay.
Not how. So basically, all these other ROM hacks that we were looking at tonight,
Yeah.
It's really just another ROM hack, just on a much greater order of magnitude.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Right on. Right on. So, but it took a lot of time.
It was very time consuming, yeah. But I pulled it off.
After I went and I put, I'm trying to think of exactly how it happened. After I put up a Better Mousetrap, we talked. I'm trying to remember. I said it was either in a live stream where I played it, or it was I did an actual Old Guys No Game short video, or 10, 15-minute video playing it as well. There was a lot of conversation there. This should be a physical release. It's such an improvement. And what happened? Because we talked about, you should talk to Rev.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a month and a half, 2 months later. So how did it go? If what you can tell us, or what you're.
Well, that was that was on Atari Age. Yeah, because I pulled you in and Rev in, and again the other fellow. I'm trying to remember exactly who, but yeah, we had like this shared thread where we just said, hey,
Right.
This is such a comprehensive hack here. It really ought to be a released product.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So how did it go? What conversation did you have? Because I wasn't aware that you guys totally were made the deal to do this. How did this talk about that a little bit? If you.
All I know is I just kind of left it up to Rev, but I know the one thing we were talking about, there was like that one weird box art from, I don't even know the original, but you saw that one box art, the one that had like a cat that looked like it had a lion mane or something. But
anyway, I did.
Rev got a hold of me and said, hey, I've got this idea for this box art. And I said, it looks great. I like it.
So who did that box art? Who did it?
Try to get got a glare here for my lamp.
Huh.
But yeah,
I know
got
something I planned on doing earlier. I did not do it, but I can do it pretty quickly. I want to put it up there actually if I can.
Let's see.
Live stream? No.
Oh no, this helps.
It does a little bit. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna throw it right over top here in a sec. I'm too slow because this is something I planned on doing earlier and failed to do. Right.
There we go.
There. Oh, there. Oh, thank you, Jeff. What I was looking to do is to put that right over top like that.
There we go.
I meant to I didn't load that into my overlays to show, but so who was it that designed this?
All I know is that this came from Rev. Who exactly designed that, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was Rev or if it was somebody else.
I love it.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
It looks great.
It's great box art.
Yeah,
I would say one of my favorites, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right on. So C-Mart was saying in there earlier that he figured that, well, and that's my understanding too, all the titles, all 7 that Rev put out for PRGE will be available again sometime in the near future, hopefully this month. But it's going to be a lot of demand when that wasn't Steve Jones. It may very well have been Steve. That's incredible artwork. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to take that off there again now. There we go. Anyway, so what we talked a little bit, who was it asked a question earlier about, do you have something in mind for your next project? Or is there something that you've been thinking that you wanted to work on, especially we're as sort of a wrap up here?
Oh,
what is your next project? Or do you have anything else you wanted to add first before we get into this? Or
well, there's, again, I mentioned before that I'm every bit as much a designer as a developer. So I always try to come up with like unique ideas. Like you see a lot of the other indie developers out there are putting out a lot of games with a lot of sizzle, which are great. Like, ports to games the Intellivision should have had, or like, we have really great stuff like, the Sorrow of Godland Thor, which again, it's fantastic. It's like something you would play on MSX or NES.
Yep.
But me, again, I'm looking for like the next Fubar, something that you probably haven't played before. Well,
totally original idea.
Absolutely. So I told you before, one thing I want to do is I want to make more multiplayer games for Intellivision. But another thing is like, what was it? Oh, I just found out, in addition to JLP, somebody was working on something else. I think it was called, I forget what, but Advanced Console, something like ACC or something, I think.
Yeah.
I was reading about it on Atari Age, and I said, hey, I could wrap all kinds of interesting new game project ideas around this. Let me run with it. So I'm going to go back and revisit my games list. Now, a few other crazy ideas I had in mind. One was, I threw it out there a while back. I want to make a game that utilizes the old NES ROB and make like another game like Stack Up, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah. Did I have it? Did I play it? No, I don't have a ROB even. I love collecting. I'd love to have one. I don't have Stack Up either. I only need 4 of the black box games. That's one of them. But
yeah, that was like one of the 2 ROB games.
Yeah, it's a gyro.
I wanted to make another ROB game, but now for Intellivision. I was also thinking, boy, all of a sudden I just had and there was like a lot of crazy ideas I wanted to throw out there. But again, we're talking like I know. There was a couple of ideas I had for something new, but it's like I'm still keeping it under wraps. But there is something I definitely wanted to work on. Something truly unique across like any platform, but put it on Intellivision just cause.
Sure.
Might very well become like a trilogy. We'll see, but
that's pretty cool.
So
we can watch for that. Now that you've had who all have you had games published through? Mostly Intellivision Revolution?
Oh yeah, first was, again, same game of robots was Intelligentvision.
Intellivision, yeah.
Blix and Chocolate Mine and X-Ray and Dillagas was through Good Deal Games and Homebrew Heaven.
Yep.
Then Fubar and Better Mousetrap, those were Intellivision Revolution.
Right.
Now, and the other thing I've failed to mention, I have, if you watch on my YouTube video, I dropped like a new game I wrote earlier this year, which nobody's really picked it up yet. But I wrote a game that my mother requested a while back, and then I had it done in time for Easter.
Okay.
So I'll just leave that there. But again, no publisher has approached me and said, hey, I want to put this out there.
That is on your YouTube video or YouTube channel?
Yeah,
I want to put your. Can I put your? I gotta find it, but can I put your YouTube channel in the chat?
Yep.
Is it just under your name?
Yeah, you can either search by my actual name, or you can search under. I think my channel, I ended up calling it INTY Lab.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I think I might have already subscribed, frankly.
Yeah, one thing I didn't do was I didn't like carve the video up into chapters. But if you watch like toward the end, like the last 10, 15 minutes, I do show off what that game is. And again, it's certainly, but again, I'm not in competition with any of the other developers. So I'm not trying to make something better than, say, Defender of the Crown. I'm just doing my own thing, really. Trying to come up with like new, unique game ideas.
I'm not finding it. INTY Space Lab.
It's one word.
All one word. Okay, I tried.
But I think I capitalized the L in lab, if that matters, and the I in INTY.
Michael, does it have 2 videos?
Yeah, I have. There's a video I posted a while back where I show off the trucking Easter egg.
Yeah, it's just at INTY Lab.
Oh,
perfect. But yeah, that's we got a moment here. Yeah, I was going to say, because I did want to kind of drop in the chat, but again, if it has to be postpartum, I understand.
No, we'll try to get him whatever we can, Mike.
Sorry?
We'll try to get him whatever we can.
That's fine, because I was going to throw out links to like my YouTube channel with like the 1 or 2 videos, my Discord server, my Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, I'll just throw this out there real quick. So Twitch right now, because again, I live stream on Twitch. They're doing a special event this week called What Games Week. And what is spelled W-U-T, as in, what the heck is this? They are doing a thing where they want people to live stream the weirdest, most obscure, completely off the wall games ever made. So I had a great old time with that yesterday.
That's
You can
interesting.
probably get I started off by like live streaming some of the Wisdom Tree games.
Oh yeah,
And of course, I couldn't leave out Color a Dinosaur.
yeah, that's right.
But my Twitch channel is also INTY Lab, so that's
Okay,
easy enough.
let me just
So
try to
I
find
had a great
it
old
then.
time with that yesterday. I want to try to live stream some more because I think it was yesterday, today, and tomorrow where they wanted people live streaming under the hashtag #WhatGamesWeek. And then on Thursday, I guess Twitch is going to do some kind of an awards ceremony for the weirdest games. And of course, given that I don't have like a video capture board here, of course, I can't live stream like 3DO or CDI. So, I can't do games like Plumbers Don't Wear Ties or like the original Sega CD Desert Bus.
Gotcha.
But again, there's plenty of
Penn and
weird
Tellers.
stuff out there for like NES and Game Boy and, what have you. Yep, there it is. That's my Twitch channel.
I think I have you playing in the background. I can hear you. Yep. There.
And then let me see. I'll drop in the chat a link to my Discord server.
Hopefully
There we go.
that
That's a
works too.
temporary-
Sometimes it restricts, but
Yep, that's a temporary invite. So it's not going to last forever.
will it go in?
Yep.
Did it come up, Jeff, for you? I don't see it.
What's that?
What you just typed in.
Oh, I don't know. There might be a
Send it to me via Messenger, and then I'll put it in.
sure. Or let me just try this. Let me try taking out the URL prefix. And let me just see, because it might be that I don't have the okay to put links in the chat.
Well, that's
Anyway.
that's that.
There might be a time delay.
Sometimes it doesn't appear to you that it's blocked. It just doesn't work.
Oh, that's
no,
right.
it worked. It worked. Yep, that worked. Good. Okay, so there's your Discord.
Right. Yeah, and I haven't really done much of anything with Discord just yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember now because we've talked before on some of your live chats before, where like I would post something in the chat and it wouldn't show up for like 1 or 2 minutes after.
Oh yes, yeah.
So that
Kind of
might
frustrating because when you're commenting on something that they're talking about right then and there, and then it's a minute delay, it sort of makes it.
Yeah, and then we moved on to like a completely different topic.
Yeah,
just
it's
like
hard.
I remember the one time you were asking, why is there like a border extension on the left side of Shark? And I went and answered, why, but meanwhile you'd moved on to another game.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it's a little bit frustrating when that happens, and lag and everything causes that, and distance. But at the end of the day, oh my God, for us to be able to sit there and do something like this, I sit back and I think about when I was 14, 15, like in 1982, and we were getting all these games. My brother-in-law was so huge into this tech and being able to play these games and stuff. And I think about what we can do now if we're communicating, and then for 10 years, not being able to communicate as much. Or yes, I loved Intellivision, but who in blazes else did I know that loved Intellivision? Nobody.
Oh yeah,
really.
Exactly.
And now we can all come together in a group, and that's why I love doing these streams and have somebody like you tell your story about everything about the Intellivision stuff. I love it. It's amazing that we can do this.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Because when I was a kid, everybody else in school had Atari, except for that one other kid that had the Odyssey 2.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But I was the one kid in class that had the Intellivision. And I'm just like, I like my Intellivision. You kids can play your Atari. You can play what passes as Pac-Man. But hey, Lock and Chase might not be actual Pac-Man, but at least it's better than what you guys.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it so much. And I'm going to keep doing the good work. Hopefully, this is fun. I love the community, and I love guys like Michael. Mike,
yes.
Did you ever have like the opportunity to interact with so many different people who just love the community like this. It's like it's more and more. It's just all
Well,
coming together, isn't it?
yeah, again, that's why I totally look forward to like opportunities like this where a bunch of us get. Oh, and I'll just drop this before I forget too.
Yeah.
One of the things I was hoping to see someday with FUBAR is, do you remember that one video where it's like two of the old Blue Sky Rangers playing biplanes together for like 9 minutes?
Absolutely.
I want to see 4 Intellivision fans together playing FUBAR for about maybe half hour, an hour, going through like discovering all the different play modes because there's so many of them, and just having a great old time. That's one thing I really want to see.
And as of right now, we have to get together physically to do it.
Well, yeah. Plus, I was going to say, like, I remember the first time we had like a big old Intellivision reunion, it was for Philly Classic 2001. That was like middle of late April. I was there. I remember Joe Beachiak, Chad Shell showed off his IntelliCart. Boy, that's where I showed off like I had just written Same Game just in time for that. It was a prototype, and it would crash after you played one game, but at least I had kind of a working prototype.
Sure.
And to me, that was a big deal because I don't know if you remember, but like somewhere, see, I had just said like left graduate school, and I was in like a really, really deep funk like the year prior. You know, I let go of my old Intellivision library website.
Thank you, Doomer, for everything, buddy. Thank you, Doomer. Cheers, man.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. This is, you know, again, this is the kind of thing I look forward to because such precious few opportunities like this to get together with so many Intellivision fans. Because it's like, you know, obviously I go to local retro game expo here in like, you know, central New York, but right about the same time as PRGE, and now everybody goes there. Yeah. And I'm not really big on travel, so I just go to the local con and just call it a day.
Yeah, no, understood. The Syracuse one that you were at the week before PRGE.
Yep.
And you know, travel's not for everyone. You're like, my goal still, God willing, is to go to PRGE next year. And I've had the conversation with C-Mart and with Luke and with Casey and Jeff. You should go too.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be so cool to go out to PRGE. And Mike, you never know, it's 11 months away. Maybe it might be worth the while. You know, I don't know. But you're right. I'll put it this way. I'm going to tell you this right now, and you can hold. So I have 2 beer and I make commitments. Right, I'm going to have a episode of the 125 out by the end of the year, and if we do go to PRGE, whether you make it or not, we'll get together and 4 of us will figure out how to play FUBAR. We'll make that video
that'll be great.
That will be absolutely positively one of my goals. If we get out there to somehow get it together, we have to have an ECS, right?
You don't have to, but you do if you want to play 4 players.
Well, then
ECS allows you to have 2 extra controllers.
Right. So we're gonna have 4 player. We're gonna have to have an ECS, and we're gonna have to set up to record it. And we'll be making a video of FUBAR with 4 players.
That'll be great. That'll be great. That's what I really want to see.
You'll commit to that, right?
All right.
Steamer will commit to it, and I'm sure we'll have no problem finding people willing to play.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Right on. Well, anyway, on that note, we've been on now for an hour and 40 minutes. Doesn't seem that long, does it? So thank you so much, Mike, for joining me here tonight.
Absolutely.
Don't sign off or anything when we sign off. You just stay right there, okay?
Totally.
I say that because a lot of people do. They think when I go to close things down, they have to sign off too. They don't. You don't. So anyway, thank you to the chat. It was absolutely amazing, all you guys in there tonight. It was a great conversation with Mike about so much the programming from back in the day. And I have Coco right down here bugging me, so I got to pick her up so she doesn't bother me.
Yes.
Where's Bongo? Get a Bongo for the finish there, Jeff. No.
Bongo's long gone.
Forget it. Anyway, guys, amazing. It's so much fun. I love doing this INTY Homebrew News and Spotlight and having these when it works out, have these streams afterwards. And thank you so much, Michael, for the work that you've done over the years with the Intellivision. It's a system that so many of us love. And, you know, I'm not going to be programming games. I probably will never program a game. I might learn some basics someday, but probably not. And I just want you to know from all the community how much we appreciate the work that you do. And and join us here tonight and sharing all your history and such. So excellent. It was a lot of fun tonight, and hopefully everybody really enjoyed it. And all the people who haven't seen it yet but watch it later on, they'll enjoy it too. Anyway, guys, anything else that we're gonna watch Go Game Go tomorrow night on the Go Game Go channel at 9:00 Papa Pete time, which is 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. Next Level Gaming is going to be on there with them.
All three guys.
That's right. And then what do we got coming down what do you got coming down the pipe, Jeff?
I'll have a video out by Friday.
Yeah, right on. Mike, Twitch stream. The links are in the chat.
Yep.
YouTube channel, links in the chat, and then
Discord.
Midnight Blue International.
Yes. Oh yeah, and my website. Yep.
And your website. So if you have the means, like whether it's an LTO Flash or an Ultimate Flashback or just JZI TV on your computer, there's so many neat hacks just to try different variations of the games on Midnight Blue International, right?
Oh, and one
go
last
ahead.
thing, don't forget.
Yep.
I want to see somebody make their own set of bump and jump levels with the level editor.
There you go, and that's there for download too.
Yeah, one thing I want to do too. I'd love to see like 7 people make their own set of bump and jump levels, so I could probably put it into like my own sort of like Super Chef BT, but for bump and jump.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Oh,
that would be so cool. Anyway, she bit me. Anyway, guys. I'm gonna have a couple pickup videos coming. I'm gonna have a couple gameplay videos coming. We're doing what the places we doing against Shark in the Astro Smash Mondays High Score Challenge. I've got another couple special ones coming, and I'm gonna have an episode of the 125 out by the end of the year. I made a commitment. Anyway, guys, thank you again so much, Mike and Jeff, for all that you do for me too. And we will see all you guys in the next video. Take care, chat. It was awesome.
See ya.